We're looking at the top 6 family games that released in June, along with some exciting tabletop news in this episode of Little Big Thumbs. We're in store for a packed summer of tabletop games hitting retail shelves, and today we want to shine a spotlight on just a few of the family and children's games that I am really excited about. And if this is something you want to see more of in July and August and beyond, make sure to let us know by liking this video and dropping a comment down below. Now, before we get to that top 6 list, let's unroll our tabletop tabloids and run down a few important bits of board gaming news. The Origins Game Fair went down in June, and several Little Big Thumbs favorites walked away with a prestigious Origins Award. The Origins Game of the Year, as voted on by the retailer community, was Smirk&Dagger's Boop. This is an adorable 2-player game about kitties jumping on the bed and booping each other off in the process. Despite its cuteness, Boop is a brain-crunchy abstract game that manages to lure people in with its approachable setting. Boop has been such an explosive success at so many retail stores, and it's a game that's absolutely worth being celebrated in this special way. Flamecraft from Lucky Duck Games won the Origins Fan Favorite Award. And this is a game about matching dragons to the right homes and selling the wondrous goodies they produce. This game appeared here on Little Big Thumbs as part of Milo's Top Games of 2022. So in addition to the Origins Award, Flamecraft has the Little Big Thumbs stamp of approval. The Origins Award for Best Children's Game went to Honk from Sinister Fish Games, which also won our very own Golden Thumb Award not too long ago. We like to think of this one as Ticket to Ride with geese instead of trains. And we're thrilled to see Honk getting even more recognition as an Origins Award winner. And finally, the Origins Award for Best Light Strategy Game went to Creature Comforts from Kids Table Board Gaming. You've heard us chat about this game before, but let's remind you, in this game we're playing as families of critters preparing for the winter. And while it's a bit heavier than the average game you'll see here on Little Big Thumbs, it did appear on both mine and Milo's list of the best games of 2022. Congratulations to all of the Origins Award winners this year. If you'd like to see the full list of recipients, we'll be sure to put a link to those results in the description of this video. Next up, we've got our Newsworthy Kickstarter Game of the Month, and this time it actually isn't a game at all, although it is game adjacent. Violet Daisy Games has launched their very first Kickstarter campaign, and it's called Shelf Care, a board game and role-playing themed coloring book. The book features some fantastic artists, and it all just comes across as really just supremely wholesome. We've received a few sample pages from the book, and those pages are just a delight. If you're curious to learn more, we'll be sure to include a link to the campaign in the description of this video. Now that you're up to date on those bits of buzzworthy board gaming news, let's turn our attention to our friendly local game stores and our picks for the top 6 games that released onto retail shelves in the month of June. We're starting this list with a new game from FoxMind called Memo Rush. In this game, players get a quick peek at 6 character cards before they're all flipped face down. Then we reveal a memory card, and based what's on that card, players will be looking to simultaneously point to a character card that matches what's on that memory card. Whoever guesses correctly grabs that card, and the first player to get 8 character cards becomes the Memo Rush victor. Indie Boards and Cards has several party-style games on their roster, and the newest one is called Glom. In each round of this game, you'll be presented with a common phrase that needs to be completely rewritten. On top of that challenge, you also have to follow a random rule and achieve a random goal. Picture this. How can you ask, "Can I pet your dog?" only using words that start with the same letter? Does this daddy dab dat doggy? Glom is a tricky, thinky, wordy wonder of a game that I'm keen to try out with my friends and family. Next up, we have That's Pretty Clever Kids, which puts players in a room filled with balloons, gifts, candies, and more. Our goal here is to scoop up the greatest number of goodies, and each turn involves one player rolling a mitt full of dice and choosing which single color they want to scoop, while everyone else grabs something from what's left behind. The game ends when one player fills in all items in one of the party room sections, and then we count up our rainbow stars to determine a winner. We've actually already had the chance to play a whole bunch of That's Pretty Clever Kids, and it's quickly become one of my older daughter's favorite games. So, in our opinion, that's a game you want to watch out for. Put your thinking caps on and sharpen those detective skills, because our next new game is Deducto from Gamewright. In this game, players ages 8 and up will be challenged to exercise their skills of fuzzy, furry deduction. Each player gets a hand of suspects, but the trick here is that you've got one hidden suspect that others can see, but you can't. We'll be asking and answering yes or no questions, revealing suspects, all with the goal to be the first player to correctly guess the animal, disguise, and location of your secret suspect. We've been playing a lot of family-friendly deduction games lately, and that gets us excited to give Deducto a try. If you feel the same, grab your crew and get ready for some sleuthing. Our number 2 game of the month is Sheep Hop, a wild and woolly cooperative game for 1 to 5 players ages 5 and up. Our goal in this game is to guide those fluffy little sheep back to the safety of their pen, all while avoiding those cunning wolves. Mechanically, Sheep Hop takes the building blocks of the classic game of checkers and layers in some additional elements. It offers multiple levels of difficulty, which sounds like the kind of game that will actually grow with its younger players. And as someone that primarily plays with their little ones, Sheep Hop offers a lot to be excited about. And my number 1 game release for June is the re-release of the cheesy adventure game of tactical memory called Chateau Roquefort. In this game, players are in a race to collect scrumptious pieces of cheese in a castle filled with trapdoors. Players will be strategically spending action points to bring new mice into play, unveil secret corridors within the castle walls, navigate your little critters around the maze, or even push a tile into play, which may result in a little mousie taking a trip down to the dungeon. If you can get 2 of your mice on spots displaying the same kind of cheese, that's your ticket to Parmesan Paradise. For my money, this is one of the greatest children's games ever made. We've still got our original edition sitting right over there on the shelf, along with the expansion that never actually made its way to North America. If you can't tell, I am so excited that Chateau Roquefort is back in print with a new edition, and I highly encourage you to go track down a copy while you can. And that wraps it up for this episode of Little Big Thumb's Family Gaming News. Actually, that's not it. There's something I forgot to mention when I initially recorded this video, and that is to talk about how to get your games. If you're watching a video like this and you see a cool game like Chateau Roquefort, which we just talked about, and you want to get it onto your game shelves, but you don't see it in your Targets or your other stores, go to your friendly local game store, go to your independent game retailer and ask them, I saw this cool game. Make sure you mention Little Big Thumbs so they know we exist. And say, I want to find this cool game that I saw in a video, and I don't see it on your shelves. 9 times out of 10, an independent retailer is going to go out of their way to find you the game you want. They have these individual one-to-one relationships with their distributors, and it's in everybody's interest to make sure that you have the games that you want. But there are hundreds of games that come out every year, and it's impossible for every retailer to stock every game. And a great way for them to know the great games that you are interested in is to have that conversation. So go into your local game store. If you don't see the cool games that you want to get onto your own tables, make sure to ask those questions. All right, back to past JP. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That tells YouTube that this content is worthy of recommending to others. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, whether you've got little players or big players, make sure that you keep playing games that make your thumbs go way up. Bye for now.